Welcome to Land Academy. This is the Cash Flow from Land show, where we show you how to buy unwanted vacant land and sell it for more on the internet. I'm Steve Butala.
I'm Jill DeWit.
We are your hosts. With over 15,000 completed transactions, we are the experts in this niche land flipping business.
We hold a drawing to win a free property every month. Enter to win by reviewing this show on iTunes and downloading our free ebook at landacademy.com. All right, let's get this show started.
Jack and Jill here for the Cash Flow from Land show. Today we have with us Joe McCall. Joe has flipped several hundred deals and helped students flip hundreds more. He loves doing deals and coaching students to do the same. He has been fortunate to receive more student testimonials than he can count. Joe invests remotely in multiple markets. He loves creating automated marketing systems. I have a lot of questions about that. Thank you, Joe. We're glad you're with us today.
Thank you, Jill. And Steve, are you there?
I am. I'm here.
All right. Nice.
I love automated marketing systems, too.
I know, man. I couldn't do what I do without it.
You know, when people click on the thing and they check out and then there's money? That's the kind of automated system I like.
Yes, that's true. So there's different kinds of businesses in real estate. And when you're wholesaling houses, that's one of the hardest things to automate, I think, because you're dealing with people. And every house is different. And you've got buyers, you got sellers, you've got lenders, you have title companies and wholesalers that you're dealing with. So I've found, I've been fortunate enough to find a way to automate all that stuff.
Well, share it with us. I can't wait to hear this.
Well, it involves using people. I mean, you can't get away from people. But bottom line, I'll just tell you my story real quick and I'll try to be fast. By the way, I'm honored to be on your show, guys. I've listened to a ton of your podcasts, and you're one of my favorite podcasts. In fact, my favorite podcast app is called Pocket Casts, and you're always at the top because when I open up my app, you're always at the top because you come out with new episodes all the time.
Oh,
nice.
Which is really smart. People don't forget. They can't forget you because you're always at the top of their feed.
Wait, isn't it because of it's me that they don't forget us? Just kidding.
Well, Jill, you are the star of the show.
Exactly.
Thank you.
Jill's the lead singer, and I'm the guitarist in the back.
So, okay. Anyway, I started out. I bought a bunch of courses and signed up for coaching. I was one of those seminar junkies, and I'd buy everything and go to every webinar and boot camp, and spending a ton of money on education and not making anything. And so finally my back was against the wall. I had bought a bunch of houses when it was easy. The market crashed. I went with it, and I had a serious cash flow problem. So I started just wholesaling houses regularly. But I was getting real frustrated with throwing away so much money after dead marketing. Mm-hmm. So I realized early on, though, the importance of marketing. Like, we're not in the real estate business. We're not in the land business. We're in the marketing business, plain and simple. No matter what kind of deals you're doing, you're in the marketing business. That's who you are. If you want to have success in this business, you've got to be an expert at marketing and lead generation, mm-hmm. which you guys are. I mean, your letters work like crazy. Almost they work too well because we're getting overwhelmed with leads right now and deals. Okay, so anyway, I realized early on the importance of marketing, and so I started doing tons of postcards, and I realized if I don't get somebody else to do it for me, it's just not going to get done. So I started creating systems to get marketing done, what I call for you in spite of you. And so right about 2008, 2009, I started wholesaling lease options because I got tired of throwing away tons of leads that didn't have any equity. So I started tying them up as a lease option and then flipping the lease option to a tenant buyer. And I did that in 2009, and doing that I was doing that part-time, and that replaced my income at my full-time job. And that's when I quit. I was a civil engineer working for a big electrical contractor building power plants. And so I quit my job in 2009 when the economy was at its worst. It was free falling, and I've never looked back since. It's been awesome. So and back then I created like what I wanted to have like as a vision for my life. And I didn't want to be tied behind a desk. I wanted the freedom to travel. We wanted to homeschool our kids. We have 4 kids. We wanted to get an RV and just go whenever we wanted, anywhere we wanted. So fast forward till about 2013, we took our whole family, my wife, our 4 kids, to Prague. We went to Prague in the Czech Republic for almost 3 months, and we traveled around Europe a little bit while we were there. And while I was there, I was able to do deals in the United States. And I thought, this is pretty cool. This is awesome. And I started getting these systems in place to automate my business for me. Came back a year later, we took a 3-month RV trip through the northwestern quarter of the U.S. and saw a ton of different national parks, and it was really amazing. And it was right around this time that I still was talking to sellers. I was still the one talking to buyers, right? Even though I was doing it virtually from my RV. So I decided I need to figure out a way that I can get, I listed everything I've got to do, and I just asked myself a simple question: how can I do none of this? And that asking the right questions kind of got me on this journey to automating my marketing and automating my systems. I discovered Podio, which I fell in love with. Podio allows me to run all my different businesses on one platform, and the project management, the collaboration, the CRM, it's all kind of there together. And so what I started doing is I partnered with local wholesalers, local boots on the grounds people. So now the way I run my business, my wholesaling business, and deals is my land deals are kind of the same now too. But for my wholesaling business, I have my assistant that sends out the marketing. We send out a lot of yellow letters and postcards for the houses. For land, we only send blind offers, just like you teach.
Great.
But for houses, I've tried sending blind offers for houses, and it does not work.
Really?
I had a real hard time, and maybe I didn't give it a good enough shot. But I didn't. It didn't work that well.
We do it all the time. It works pretty
maybe
well.
I need to revisit it. It's just kind of maybe some limiting beliefs. But I'll tell you what I'm doing now. So I send out yellow letters and postcards. I know you love yellow letters, Steve, but I send them out anyway. And so the phone rings. My VA in the Philippines, who has really good English, she answers the phone and pre-screens all the leads. And she just asks 3 or 4 basic questions, puts them in Podio, and we do this in several different markets, and then sends the lead in Podio to my local wholesaler. Okay? My local wholesaler, my boots on the ground guy, is a guy that already does a bunch of deals. He just doesn't like the admin stuff. He doesn't like doing the marketing. He doesn't like pre-screening a ton of leads. But he'll take the pre-screened leads, call the sellers back, go look at the house if it's a motivated deal seller, get it under contract, and flip it to one of their buyers, and we split the profits 50-50. And that's how I'm doing all my deals right now.
That's amazing.
So that's your system. You still got people involved. I got assistant doing the marketing, an assistant pre-screening the leads, and a local wholesaler flipping them. I'm just kind of in the background orchestrating it, and that allows me to travel. We went to Europe again last summer for 3 months, and we traveled a ton. We went to France, and we went to like 9 different countries, and had a really, really good time. And that's what I do now. I work from home, and I do my podcast. And so that was a long introduction. I hope that was
it's great.
Your question.
It's great. So, I mean, how, from a dollar standpoint, what do you personally net per deal with really not being involved at all?
I just did a deal. I could send it to you. I made $5,670 on a deal we closed on last Friday, $5,670. And so that's on average, you're looking at $3,000 to $6,000. So $4,000, let's say, an average deal. And we'll average 3 to 4 deals a month. You know, I'm not a big volume guy. I don't want to have a big business. I keep it real simple. I have a couple local assistants in an office that I don't even go to hardly. I should go there more. And then I have some virtual assistants. But I also do a coaching business, right? So, you know, I it's not just the deals business where I get most of my income. Probably, if I were to be honest, 35% of my income comes from deals, and 75% comes from my podcast, my marketing services, and my coaching.
That's great.
Yeah.
I mean, $10,000 gross. I mean, we make about $10,000 per wholesale house deal too.
Yeah.
And we don't, you know, I do take the couple of phone calls on that, but we only deal with the people that we sell it to are people that we've known for years and years and years. So I just got off another call where we were talking about, Jill and I were talking about really stepping that business up, because all we have to do is send out twice as much letters, which just takes 10 more minutes a month.
Yeah.
And then
that's who wins in this business. Whoever does the most marketing wins. It's as simple as that.
Exactly. So what's next? What are you going to work on next? It's great stuff.
Well, I love the land business. And so I caught the land bug about 3-4 months ago. And people ask me all the time, because I have a course on lease options and another course on wholesaling. People ask me, should I buy your course or that course? And I always say, buy all of them, because everybody has a different perspective, and you're going to learn something from everybody when you do that. And I'm a big believer in investing in your education. So I bought 4 courses on land. And I was telling you this before we started. To be politically correct, I have to say that I like all of them, but yours is one of the best. How's that?
Thank you very much.
Because I'm good friends with the other guys. And so I took these courses, I went through them, and then I gave them to my assistant, one of my main assistants. And I have another couple that I work with that kind of like we're partners in the land business. And I just said, here it is, go through this and let's start implementing it. Okay. I was really emphatic with this with them. And I think this is important for everybody listening. Don't start worrying about steps 7 and 8 before you start doing steps 1 and 2. Like, there's a lot of stuff in the Land Academy course, but don't worry about those last chapters. Just start getting the letters out and you'll figure it out as you go. And so we took massive action. We just started sending tons of offers. We got an offer. I won't go into all the details, but we started getting some offers accepted, and we realized we were offering too much. So, okay, well, sorry. And then, so we started, we lowered our price, and then, so we're kind of just trial and error. You figure out, okay, well, that wasn't working. Let's change it a little bit. And now it's starting to hum along pretty well. Yeah.
I got to ask Joe, did our program, because I've heard this, because we're, as you know, a little bit different in what we do. We're not all philosophy. We're really more of we're really going to show you how to do this. Oh, and by the way, here's the data. We're going to, not only are we going to show you how to do it, we're going to give you all the tools to do it. So I'm hoping the answer is yes. Did we fill in all the holes and finally give you everything you needed to kind of just really do this and jump in?
Yes, you sure did.
Thank
now,
you.
If I could give one piece of good constructive criticism.
Yeah.
If that's okay on a podcast.
Absolutely.
I'm not sounding like
we can bleep it out if we don't like it. It's all good. Just kidding.
I love, there's a thing called on my Mac, it's called My Speed. And I speed through videos. Oh. I just wish your videos were a little shorter, like more condensed.
Oh.
Like if you could have maybe a fast start guide, like just do a 2-hour webinar or video of like real quick, a deal from beginning to end that somebody can just watch from the beginning and get, oh, that's what this is all about. Does that make sense?
Yes. My question though, I was thinking too, I wonder how much of that is you.
I think so I'm a little impatient.
Well, no, I wasn't going to say that. I was going to say how much of it is this is not new to you. Yeah. You know what I mean?
That's a good point. Because if you go too fast, then you might overwhelm people.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we're in the process of actually filming a new program for house flippers and one for people who are trying to buy a new house or move, just regular homeowners who want to find a house that's substantially marked down.
Yeah.
And that's the number one thing on my list, is to make the packages much shorter. So, and I think that actually we covered a ton in that original Cash Flow from the Land program.
Which is phenomenal. But I don't mean to say anything
No,
negative.
It's good. I fast forward through YouTube videos all the time. I have no patience at all.
He's always telling me, can you do this? Can you get this out quicker? Just kidding.
Well, that is hard because I love to teach, right? And sometimes when I'm teaching, I go into way too much detail, and it's hard to figure out that fine balance of just telling students what they need to know to get them to the end goal as quick as possible. And it's tough. People don't realize, Steve, they see your course. You guys put so much blood, sweat, and tears and effort into that course. Am I right?
Yes.
It took a year. It took a year to do that.
It's amazing the amount of work that goes into creating a course, and why on earth would you want to do that? It's just easier in many ways to just continue doing deals yourself. And, so my point is this: I thank God for gurus. I know gurus get bashed, and I talk about this on my podcast sometimes, and it's unfortunate because if it wasn't for that guru that I bought that late night infomercial course way back, who was willing to, stick his neck on the line and teach people what he knew, who cares if he's not doing deals now? He did a bunch of deals then, and he's a really good teacher, and he's teaching this stuff now. Who cares if he makes more money teaching than he does doing deals? His stuff is good. So I bought those courses and I learned from them, and I started implementing that stuff and doing deals. So I don't like jumping on the bandwagon of bashing gurus. I'm okay with bashing stupid gurus that are stupid, are idiots.
Mm-hmm.
But Steve and Jill, you guys put so much work into that course. It's a great quality course. And if I were to, well, I can't say that because I need to be politically correct. It's definitely your course, your Land Academy course is definitely the must-have of all of the material that's out there with courses.
It's super nice of you to say, Joe. I really appreciate it. We get the vast majority, not the majority, let's say 50 or 60% of the members that we have at Land Academy have come from us from our 2 or 3, I'm going to say like-kind information sources.
Yeah.
The thing that's real different, and quite honestly, I'm a little bit more proud of even than the packages, the data and the printing subscription / membership that we provide through RealQuest. That's where the real value, like Jill said, it's now we've got the education and we also provide the professional grade tools to get deals done. So
yeah, we use the data to doorstep. Is that what it's called?
Yes, data to doorstep. Yep.
Yeah, we use that. It's good stuff.
That's great. Have you had a positive experience with that? Because everybody seems to just love it.
Well, we just still do our own mail, right? So I have a local printing house that we use for our mail, but we use it for the data with RealQuest Professional. And yeah, it's cool. I'm kind of a data nerd as well, and you can't get that list anywhere else. You can't get that data anywhere else for cheaper. Even with ListSource, you can't get that stuff and I don't know if this is intentional or just the way it's just an accident, but if you go to ListSource and try to buy a list for land, you cannot do an improved value of 0.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So, the difference between us, this is it's almost sounded like a commercial and it wasn't intended for this, but the difference between RealQuest and everything else is that you're literally accessing an assessor's database. So you have all, there's lines and lines of data that you don't get. I say it all the time. You should never buy a list. What you're buying, if you buy it on the internet, is an ownership list. That's it. Without the assessed values and a bunch of other things, you really can't send out effective letters. And what ends up happening is you waste money on postage.
Yeah.
So yeah, thank you.
Good resource.
Thank you. So what are your the people that you coached? Do they do everything? Are they doing mostly house flipping or?
Yeah. So I don't teach or coach on land. I don't plan on to either. But I got into land because I wanted to build passive income without owning a rental property, without owning a house. And so right now we are, well, I don't know, I'd say we have 3 and 2. We have about 5 properties under contract, and we're right now in the middle of advertising them, selling them. The first 1 or 2 that we put up are in Colorado, and we're getting already within a week a bunch of calls on them. So that's going well. But right now we're just focusing on wholesaling them, like flipping them for quick cash, and then we'll start selling them on terms, which is my ultimate goal. I want to just have my ultimate goal is to have $10,000 a month in income from notes from land. But when I coach people, though, it's more on wholesaling, it's systems. I even have a course on Podio that teaches people how to use Podio in their business, podiojoe.com. It's been a couple years since I updated that, but it's still relevant. It's still, Podio is a fantastic tool. So I'm coaching people on systems and marketing, how to, in their house flipping business, how to create the systems where they can wholesale deals while they're traveling or while they're at the beach in Barcelona or at a Starbucks cafe. It doesn't matter.
Yeah, I've got a technical question on Podio because people keep saying how great it is.
Yeah.
How customizable is it from start to finish? I mean, could you really, if you spend hours and hours in there, make it into a relational database that handles everything from CRM to like management to everything?
Yeah. So it's just a drag and drop. It's very customizable. That's why I love it. It's like a drag and drop. So if you look at it on the left, you have all your different fields: a text field, a date field, a number field, money, a link field, a map field, etc. And so different fields, and you drag them over to the right and you drop them where you want for whatever you want to track. And so like they're called workspaces. And with workspaces, they're very flexible. You can share workspaces with people or exclude them. So I have a workspace for land. In fact, I have different workspaces for land in different states. I have a workspace for lease options. I have a workspace for wholesaling by city. I have a workspace for my coaching business. I have a workspace for my admin stuff, like our meeting minutes and standard operating procedures and stuff like that. So it's very customizable to track whatever you want to track. And then it communicates really well and integrates really well with Google Drive or Dropbox, Evernote, and a Google Calendar, so you can get all your stuff to show up in your calendar. And there's some really good, simple workflows that you can create in the background. So like when this happens, then do this. The only thing that it doesn't do that I wish it did, it doesn't have an email database like systems to send out autoresponder emails. So what you have to do is you set up a link between like Podio and MailChimp, for example. So when you put an email in Podio, it sends it to MailChimp. So then you have to go to MailChimp to send out the letters or send out the emails. Does that make sense?
Yeah, that's a pretty easy fix.
Yeah. So there's things like Zapier that you can use.
Yeah, exactly.
To pull things out of Podio into whatever. So I like it a lot because I don't want to have to fit into someone else's box. Like I want to create my own box. I want to maybe I want to be a cylinder or a pyramid or whatever. And so I like the flexibility, and you don't have to be a coder to figure it out. It's very simple and straightforward. In fact, if you want, sometime we can schedule this after the podcast here. I'll do a little tutorial and show you kind of what I have going on in Podio if you want.
Yeah. Yeah, I'll definitely look into it and probably schedule something with you. It'd be great.
I want a funny story. I want to give me. Can you like any funny recent thing, like a disastrous flip or I don't know something?
Oh boy.
You always have those deals. You're like, well, how did we get involved in that? Right? I mean,
yeah. Well, I'm trying to think. Every rehab I've done, I've lost money on.
Oh, there we go.
Is that funny? That's hilarious, isn't it?
No, isn't it? It's sad, but like Wait
a minute.
Wait.
Why?
Yeah.
Why did you lose money?
Because I was counting. I bought them at the height of the market, and I was counting on appreciation. I mean, I ignored all the fundamentals. That's why. I was counting on appreciation. The margins were slim, and I underestimated the rehab, overestimated the sale price, and I borrowed too much debt. I got in over my head. This was back in 2008.
That's about all the mistakes you can make. Good work.
Yeah. So that's hilarious. That's really good now. I got that off my chest. But so I don't know anything about the deals that we do today. I don't. I have my assistant that sends out the marketing, my VA that pre-screens the leads, and my local wholesaler that does the leads, that flips them. And we split the deal 50-50. I could dive in. I could go into Podio and look at it. The other thing I do, by the way, that's really important is I have a VA that does all my follow-up. So we send an offer to every lead that comes in. We send them an offer in the mail, and we follow up with them every month. We send them a text message. Sometimes we'll do a slide dial, which leaves them voicemail. And then sometimes we'll just mail them. a letter or a postcard every month following up. So we're relentless with the follow up. But I can't tell you anything about all of the deals that I've done. I know more about my students' deals. I get more excited about that. And I'm sure you guys are the same. When you see a student do their first deal, it's like I'm jumping up and down. I'm giving my kids high five. I get super pumped and jazzed about seeing students that I've had a little impact. I've taught them some things, and they're actually out doing deals, and they quit their job, and they're able to stay home and spend more time with their family. That's what really gets me excited.
Yeah, I mean, I completely agree with you. There's nothing better. I've been saying this for years. There's no better feeling in the world than parental pride.
Uh-huh.
When your kids accomplish something, and then there's a version of that when people that you're working with really start to get it and succeed at it. So yeah, I completely agree. It's really funny. Jill and I were just joking about that. There seems to be like 3 stages of our members. The first one is they don't believe it, or they have some serious skepticism, and then they're at stage 1, and they're in the research stage, and they're like, oh, this I don't understand, or it's not I don't understand, but they're concerned. And then step 2 is they start getting calls back from a mailer. And then step 3 is we don't ever hear from them again because they're making so much money. It's just over.
Isn't that frustrating? I'm like, guys, what happened? So that is one bad thing about coaching is like when they start doing deals, they don't call you anymore, and you don't talk to them, and you're like, I wonder what they're doing. So that is awesome. You get guys like one of my clients today just did his first deal and made $2,000. Okay. $2,000. That's not a lot of money, but that is a lot of money.
Yeah.
$2,000. You can have a very nice, expensive dinner with $2,000. Right. And he's excited about it. He's jumping off. And so like, I'm so happy for him too, because I just know this guy, that's just adding fuel to the fire. It's lighting him up, and he's going to go out there and do more marketing and talk to more sellers and make more offers. And that's exciting. So I wish, anybody listening to this, if you've done deals with Steve and Jill's stuff, give them a call, let them know, send them an email, send them a letter or video, let them know like the success that you're having, and it'll help them spread their message out to get more people in to the Land Academy world and help them do more deals. I'm telling you, the market, especially in land, is huge, and there's people need to know more about it.
Well said. We see the data reports. So in our pro membership, we can see who pulls data and who uses the printing. And I can tell you there's lots of people in there that are pulling a lot of data and a lot of printing month after month after month. And we haven't talked to them in several months. So I don't think they're doing it just for fun.
Right. So that's good. That's really good. You guys are doing a great job.
Thanks, man.
You should be really proud of what you've created.
Joe, where can we find you on the internet?
Well, my podcast is probably the best place. I just updated my website too. So realestateinvestingmastery.com. I've been doing that podcast since 2011. Realestateinvestingmastery.com. JoeMcCall.com is my other site. I have like 3 or 4 different courses. I don't really have a place that I can send somebody yet where they can get all of them or look at them. It's just kind of like, as I decide to release one or revise one, I kind of let it out. But Real Estate Investing Mastery, my podcast, is probably the best place to go. Okay. I should have you guys on my show.
Yeah, it'd be fun. Send us a link. I'd be happy to be.
We'd love it.
I will put it. I'll send you an email and put it in Skype right after we're done here.
I know you don't want to do work or anything like that, but send us a link.
I'll have my people contact you.
That's right. That's actually in a system that Joe has. It's going to be automated here in a minute.
Right. Hey, great talking to you, Joe. Thank you so much.
Talking to you guys too. I appreciate it.
Okay. See ya. Good show.
That was fun. It's always fun talking to someone that they found us.
Yeah, exactly.
You know what I mean? And he's been in our little world, doing our thing, using the data and all that good stuff. And I wasn't really sure who he was. And I'm like, oh, he has a show. I didn't know that,
That's how, our service, our, guest finding service, which is really people in our staff,
right,
found him. They don't have any idea that he's a member.
Exactly.
It just all happened that way. I think that happened earlier this week too, right?
I think so. Oh gosh, yes, that's right. We did have one earlier where it wasn't one of our people in our, Land Academy show.
It wasn't a member, but he had bought a.
It was a customer
bought
something from us.
Exactly.
Yeah, it was so darn funny. That was really cool. I'm like, oh wow, that's great. Yeah, I flipped it. Isn't that funny? He's like, I bought it from you for $400. Then I think I did the math, and he sold it for $2,400. I'm like, nice job. Or it's way to go.
We, you know what I really got out of that call with Joe is following up with some type of correspondence for people who just called in, but we never ended up buying their property. Maybe send them a note every 6 months. I never thought about doing that, ever.
Well, let me think about that. Why did we not buy their property? I always thought that was kind of a house thing. It seems like that's a whole, they're still living in it. Why aren't you moving thing? It's not like this something sitting way over there.
Yeah, I mean, I guess you would only do it for you'd only do it for sellers that they really wanted to sell, but they couldn't get together on the price.
Right. And then, they come.
And there's not that many, actually, now that I'm thinking about it. The reason we don't close deals with people is for, legal reasons. There's not in their name.
Or we don't agree on. There's the price. That might be a thing. But sometimes, but then they come back. Is that what you're saying?
I don't know. I mean, I don't think price is the main reason. It's just a sheer numbers. Of all the deals that people call in or send us stuff back, I think price is very low on the list about why we don't close the deal. I think it's mostly not price. It's like some other thing that goes on.
Like it's impossible to close this deal.
Yeah, because the person's not living any longer that owns it, or any of those little legal type things.
Right, and sometimes and we've had that where the legal fees to do it might be cost more than the property's worth. That just kind of made it not. Now the deal doesn't make sense, and I hate those because I feel bad. I'm like, sorry, I wish I could help you.
Super excited when he said that, but now I'm not as excited anymore, Joe.
About what? About the following up?
Implementing a follow-up, an automated follow-up thing.
Yeah.
You didn't see it at all, did you?
No.
I mean, you didn't feel it at all.
You know what? Because I didn't see it for what we do. Yeah. You know what, Stephen? Right. I don't, here's my reasoning. I have enough fresh deals coming across my desk and my team all the time that I don't need to revive anything.
More deals.
So, right? I took the cream of the crop. Every time it comes across, we take the cream of the crop and we move on.
Right.
How great is that?
Anyway, interesting to talk to an existing successful member on accident.
I know. I love it. That was great.
Let's go buy some property.
We hold a drawing to win a free property every month. Enter to win by reviewing this show on iTunes and downloading our free ebook at landacademy.com.
If you want to get involved or you need more information about our profitable, niche real estate operation, call 480-467-0359. You just might get Jill at the other end of the line.
landacademy.com. You are not alone in your real estate ambition.